Welcome back to the Red Dice Diaries, and this is part of the 3 stages of a game playlist. Now, John, you might be saying, you've already done 3 videos on this. What's left? What's left indeed? Well, this is a sort of rounding up, wrapping up epilogue video, if you will. So the game is finished. The 3 stages are done. They're dealt with. You've done a good job. Your players all seem happy. They've loved your game. What else is there to do? Well, no matter how good your game is and your GMing style is, there's always room for improvement. One of the most consistently important points I've tried to hammer home throughout these videos and in lots of my other videos is to listen to your players. And this doesn't stop once the campaign's concluded. Try and get your players to give you an honest opinion and some constructive feedback on how the campaign went as a whole. Now, some people may not be comfortable discussing this in a group, so see if you can speak to them in private, or perhaps even get them to email you their feedback. After all, just because they're a little less comfortable in speaking in public doesn't mean that their input or their feedback is any less valuable. Now, some people may still not be comfortable, since they might worry about upsetting you. After all, people who roleplay with you are normally friends or people you at least get on with. All you can really do in this case is assure them that you want the feedback and that if something's constructive, you're not going to take offence at it. Perhaps one way of getting around this might be creating some form of survey sheet, I suppose, or something that the players can fill in, which gives them the impression that you do actually want this feedback, and it gives them a structure in which to put that feedback down. This is something I'm planning on doing in the future. Now, whatever feedback you do get, don't take it personally, don't get offended, as long as it's constructive, even if the feedback's negative. Instead, don't see it as a criticism of yourself, see it as an opportunity to learn from that, to improve, and to make your next epic game even better than this one was. Bear in mind, though, that some things which one person may see as negative, another person may not see as negative, or may even see as a positive. If you have any doubt about this, or you think it's just one person with a particular dislike, grudge, whatever you want to call it, what I'd suggest you do is you ask the other players what they thought of that particular aspect of the game. But in order that the player who originally brought it up doesn't feel persecuted, after all, they might have a valid case, I suggest you do so privately. And one of the most important pieces of advice I can give after you finish your game, you've got all your feedback back from your players, you believe you've learnt the lessons that this game has to teach, and you're ready to jump straight into another game. Don't. Hold yourself back, resist the urge. I know it's tempting. You want to jump straight back into your next idea. You've got 1,000,001 ideas for your next game. You want to jump straight into a campaign, crack on with it, get your player characters enthusiastic for the new thing. Take my word for it, don't jump straight in. Have a little break. You deserve one. You've been running a campaign. It's an awful lot of work and can be an awful lot of strain on people. Take a little break. Don't risk getting yourself burnt out as a GM. No one wants this. So take a little time to rest and reflect and pause. Maybe even let someone else run a game for a little bit. And then, when you are refreshed, you've had a little break, you've had time to think, you've had time to recover, you've had time to have a few evenings and weekends without having to frantically plan the details of an RPG campaign. Once you've reached that stage and you're refreshed, then start planning your next epic game. Then start putting your feelers out to see if any of the other player characters are interested. And once you're sure you're ready to dive back in, go for it. Dive back in, make your next game as enjoyable as possible. So with the end of this video, that wraps up my 3 stages of the game playlist. I may revisit it again in the future, but that's it for now. I hope you've all enjoyed these videos, and that if you have, you'll click on like and subscribe down below. And if you have any comments on soliciting feedback from players, or any of the other elements of the 3 stages of a game process I'm suggesting, please leave them in the comments box down below. And until I see you next time, I look forward to reading what you write. Thank you very much for watching.